Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make Shallot Chive cheese spread. You may have seen a product like this at the stores. It's quite expensive for an amount about half the size of this. It's really easy to make, and there's going to be some entertaining coming up in the next few weeks, so I figured I'd start my holiday recipes a little early. Okay, so for this you will need, and I'm using store-bought today instead of my own cream cheese, and if you haven't seen that recipe, here's a link to it. But with the holidays coming up and everybody's stressed for time, we all do have to cut some corners from time to time, and I'll be doing that in a few of my recipes just to save time for everybody, including myself. So ideally this should be softened quite a bit, but if you're like me and you're trying to do too many things at once, which is in sync with the holiday spirit, what you can do is you can warm this up in the microwave if you're really careful about it. So just put your brick in a big bowl there and put this on low to medium power on your microwave for 20-second bursts, and just give it a test with the spoon. You want it to soften, but you don't want it to liquefy. So I've softened this up completely in 20-second bursts at 30% power in the microwave until it's just nice. I'm going to mix that in with a spoon first. Next thing you do is add the cream. And what you're going to do is just add it down the side of the bowl and keep it on one side. And if anybody says, why don't you do this in a food processor, trust me, the amount of aggravation to clean it up and try to get the rest out is just not worth it. It's quicker to do this in a bowl. Yeah. That's the only trouble with evening cooking, eh? You lose the light. So there's the cream, okay, on the side. And what you want to do is you want to just pull in a bit of the softened cheese and rub it. Then take in a bit more. And keep going like that until you've worked in all of the softened cream cheese. So once that's even, set that to the side and get your shallot ready. If shallots are news to you, they're sort of a cross between garlic and onions, and they're quite expensive per pound, but considering you only use the smallest amount in most dishes, they're reasonably cheap if you look at it that way. So what you can do to maximize the amount of use from this, just make a cut on the outside, and I just lose the first layer. If you don't want to do that and you're willing to peel the paper and you can get all of it off, then you can just do this. But if you're in a rush, you can just lose it and just buy a bigger shallot. Once you've got that peeled, you want this extremely fine. So cut it much the same way as you would an onion. And they're so tiny I do have to zoom in here a bit so you can see. And take the time to cut it extremely fine. Like that. And if you do have any large pieces from the ends left over, either cut them up or just pull them out if you're going to find it difficult to chop them, and then just keep going until they're extremely fine, as fine as you can get with your knife. So when you've chopped them as much as you can, and you push them out flat, and you can see that the pieces are about as small as you're going to get, and you can see the shallot juice when you flatten them out. Then just scoop them up and add them to the cream cheese. So again, as you did with the cream, get all the shallots in and mix in a bit of the cream cheese until it's even. This goes pretty quick at this point. Get about a tablespoon of chives. If you want a bit of parsley in this, no problem. I just like the chives with it. With the shallots, I find the taste is simple and nice. And again, do the same thing. So once you've mixed it up till it looks visually even, you can put it in your container and set it in the fridge to chill. Now, you got to be thinking, if you've got a table set out, when this comes to room temperature, this is still a little cool, but it is sort of room temperature. This is the consistency you're going to have. If you're going to be serving it cold, for sure, you may want to add a little bit more whipping cream, but be very careful because it can get easily too runny. This makes a very nice consistency right now, and even when it's cold, it's still spreadable. There's the finished product. I'm going to leave this in the fridge overnight for the flavors to develop. If you do need this for a party, you should wait at least 2 or 3 hours, hopefully, to get the full flavor in it. And one word I should say is that if you were going to buy the equivalent amount of this type of product made in France at the grocery store, you could easily pay 10-12 bucks for it. And you can make this for less than $5, depending on where you buy your cream cheese, and even less if you make your own. So there's my Shallot Chive cheese spread. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.